G'day everyone, I thought I'd give you a little tour of the exhibition. It's the last day today. We're going to throw a little garden party with a bit of live music and Sarah's coffee and cake and whatever goes on. Yeah, for those of you who couldn't make it, I thought it'd be nice to show you through the works and talk you through it a bit. Hope you enjoy. So here we have our gardens, it's our entrance. Take you on a tour as others would expect to see it. So majority of these works are plein air painted. This is a giant carry from the southwest down around Denmark. We've got a few in the laundry even. I won't take you in there, we'll speed this little tour up a little bit. Had the honour of painting with Andy Dolphin the day I did this one. Check out Andy's work. He's a brilliant painter from Mount Barker down Albany way. Had a recent exhibition. As we come into the main more galleries, again we've got plein air works on the walls. It's a larger studio piece. I'll show you the plein air study that was used for creating this one earlier. Take you in for a closer look. Nice little 9x5 inch, which is a traditional Australian landscape painting size. Has to do with the history of early Australian Impressionist painters, where they painted on cigar box lids and held an exhibition for affordable art. And speaking of affordable art, this one is available at $700. This one's not. So I'm just bringing you on the angles so that we don't get the reflected glare. Unfortunately, the cameras tend to pick that up more than our eyes. Swing you back around. It's a larger plein air painting, 12 by 24 or 30 by 60 centimetres. It's not all out yet, but a bit of Sarah's cake, which will be on show and available later in the day. This painting's called Who's Bluffing? Actually, it's called You're Bluffing. I think Who's Bluffing is somewhere else, but it's Bluff Knoll, for the interest of those who don't know the landscape down here. So this one and that last one we were viewing were painted at the same location, one in the afternoon and one in the morning. And here's another nice little sketch. Some of them a lot quicker than others, and a lot of these influence the larger works in my studio. When the Rain Came Down, another plein air painting, and then there's that last moment of light across the landscape. Just a quick little study. And Sarah and I build all our frames too, all handmade. There's something about this one I really like. It's subtleties. It's very nice. I was pretty happy with the representation of the landscape there, quite honest. Another another 12 by 24, 30 by 60, larger work. In the other room there's a smaller one I did before as a pre-study. I'll just swing around here for a minute and show you this painting here. So this little painting here was the plein air study that influenced the painting in the distance there that we had a closer look at earlier. Again, here's some little 8 by 6 inch or 15 by 20 centimeters. Very quick little studies of the landscape, capturing that last moment of light of the day. And all three of those are right on sunset or just after sunset, right at that point when the sun goes down. You can see in this one, for example, that the sun's almost not hitting the landscape at all, it's just catching the cloud. This one here, again, it's not hitting the landscape, but it's just catching that top ridge on the mountain. And of course, sunset and the sun's just about down. So this is my palette, my studio palette. Decommissioned at the moment, but it'll be back in action in a week or so's time. And here's a larger work from the other one we were looking at earlier. Come in for a close-up. Typical farmer's scene. It's me mate's ute. Painting of the flock on the move. And I'll bring you in for a little look. And this one influenced a larger piece in the other room. Have a look at that later. Another little 9 by 5 here. It's looking a little dark on camera, but guarantee it's got some much nicer light in those shadows. And I'm happy to offer free shipping, so if anybody is interested in any of these works, you're welcome to let me know. They come in their frames. Just a little look in at the framing detail. Come into this sort of my main gallery, I suppose. I hope I'm filming this all slow enough for you. Please, I'll take some feedback in the future for any future videos I might do. And this is that little 8 by 16 or 20 by 40 centimeter, sort of a pre-study to the other one that we were looking at earlier. This is a little favourite of mine. It's a 12 by 24 or 30 by 40 centimetres. And these are all my plein air studies. And if we look at the trees in this one, I'm going to swing you around quite quickly here. But they're the same two trees I've used in the larger work there on the right. And so this is how I sort of play the game, I suppose you could say. If you look at that scene there, over here is the plein air study for it, which got moved around again and things change. And once again we have the plein air study here, which dictated the larger work here. And this one is called Standing at the Bar. I will just clarify that free shipping's on the smaller works. We'll have to negotiate if somebody wants something larger, but always happy to work with my clients. And all these works are of the Stirling Range, so the southwest of Western Australia. We do have some, do you want to call them hills or mountains? I suppose we could almost call them mountains. They're reasonably large. Most of our landscape in Western Australia is very flat. And I'll quickly take you into the last room. I'm sure we've had enough of a viewing. All these works, well, 90% of them are on the website. Here's another little sketch. It's just a little 8 by 6 inch. Pre-study to the larger one we were just looking at. Here's two again of the same scene. Different times of day. And here's probably my favourite of the show. It was a struggle. It came together in the end. Just needed putting the final highlights and bringing light into the foreground a little more. Paintings can be very organic as you work on them, and they can take paths that you're not expecting them to. It was a tough one to compose as well and bring it all together. But very happy with this piece. And of course it's got a nice little red dot on it. And this was probably one of the inspirations to that last piece we were talking at. Composition changed a little, but it was the main inspiration for it. And there she is, Bluff Knoll herself. That's the iconic landmark of the Great Southern, Bluff Knoll in the Stirling Ranges. I think we'll finish it there. Thank you, I hope you enjoy.